tells that a satanic brotherhood, dark secrets and deception. We can also see that a satanic brotherhood in the tales of the friar, who is also an ecclesiastical figure. See, the friar's tale, a satanic brotherhood. Now, the friar's tales tell the story of corrupt summoners. Now, what the friar is doing? He is telling us the story of a corrupt summoner. And this friar is himself a corrupt person, right? With extorts bribes and threatens damnations and ends up dragged to hell by the devil. He is talking about the summoners, that summoners are corrupt and they will be doing what? They will be sent to the hell and they will be damned and sent to the hell, right? So this is okay what the friar is telling to the audience. So translation would be like that: the very officials in charge of judging sins are committing worse sins themselves. What he's telling the people, right, this friar, he is also committing the greatest sins of the time. It's very something paradoxical. He's telling the people the summoner is not doing something well, right? He's corrupt. While what he's doing, he's also indulged in great sin. So the summoners respond with his own tale. He's telling his own tale and attacking the friar in return. The summoner attacking the friar while the friar attacks the summoner. So both attack each other, showing mutual hypocrisy within the clergy. How hypocrisy was there? How much hypocrite these people, these clergymen were. Both were corrupt, right? Both were not obeying the teaching of the Bible. One was accusing another one. The summoner was accusing the partners and the summoner was accusing the friar while the friar was accusing the summoner. So this is okay, the whole story. It's not just one bad apple. It's systematic rule. Not only one or two, but the entire society was like this. Systematic rule was there. And the summoner's tales, divine comedy or critical corruption. So we talked about the partner, we talked about the friar, now we're talking about the summoner. What the summoner was doing, a divine comedy or critical corruption. You can see here. The summoner's tale, divine comedy or clerical corruption. So it wasn't critical, but clerical corruption. How? A greedy friar visits a sick man. It's very interesting. Okay? A greedy friar. Because friar was greedy, so he visits a sick man and begging for money. Remember, okay? That time in 14th century. A greedy friar. Right? And this friar visits a sick man who was ill and begging for money. To give me money. He was himself sick and he was asking for money. Now the man fed up and promises a gift. The man fed up and he promised that he will give him a gift. And then what the man did, he farts on the friar's lap. He farts. It's something very, like we can say, impolite. But he farts on the friar's lap. Crude, yes, pointed, absolutely it's crude. So why did he fart on the friar's lap? This is a question. Let's see. So, symbolism. The fart represents empty promises. Empty promises. Fine? And false blessings and the sting of corruptions. And cloak into spiritual robes. Historical context that Mantican friars were criticized across Europe and exploiting the poor. Chaucer's story turns this religious greed into fears and exposing just how disgusting spiritual abuse can be. Right? How did Chaucer avoid censorship? Because it was an easy task to criticize Roman Catholic Church. That was the most powerful body, institution of the time, even powerful from the king. Right? So how is it possible that you are going to criticize the church and you are not being caught? Oh, he did some tricks. What were the tricks? How did Chaucer avoid censorship? That his story also not censored, right? Published, and he's also safe. So what he did, let's see. How did Chaucer avoid censorship? He disguised critique as fiction. This was a critique, but in the form of fiction, right? So people thought it's a fiction, it's not true story. But he was doing what? He was criticizing actually Roman Catholic Church. Characters say the bold thing, not Chaucer himself. Okay, what the Chaucer wants, so he said it from the mouth of his character, from wife of Bath, from the knight, from the friar, from the prioress, from the monk, right? From the sumner, from the partners. So it was the intention of the Chaucer, but he is telling us from the mouth of these characters. So he saved himself, right? Second, that he uses humor and satire. He uses humor and satire, right? And you are laughing, but you are also thinking. On the one hand, you laugh. He is entertaining you people. But on the other hand, you think. But the purpose was not laughing. Behind this laughing was a very serious tone, right? He is unhappy with this bad things, what was going on with the Roman Catholic Church. He balanced the scale. Not all church figures are bad. The person is humble and virtuous. All these were not bad. There was person was not bad, humble and virtuous, and we know about the knight was also a virtuous one. Now, by creating a spectrums of religious figures, Chaucer criticized corruptions without attacking religious itself. Right? So what was he doing? That by creating a spectrum of religious figures, he did what? Chaucer criticized corruption, right? Without attacking religious itself. He was not attacking it. But what was going on? Okay, what people were doing on, what the clergymen were doing on, he was pointing out something. It's a brilliant subversions on it worked. Was Chaucer just reflecting reality? It's easy to call Chaucer a rebel, but maybe he was just holding up a mirror, right? Because something, actually, that if you want to know that how 14th century was, you have to read Canterbury Tales, and you know from Canterbury, it's a mirror reflection of the 14th century. So Wycliffe's Bible's translation was circulating undergrounds, and the Lollard movement was rising, demanding church reforms and attacking clerical greed. So we will continue here that Chaucer may not have joined their group, but he was clearly plugged into the same frustrations, what was going on in society. His fictions wise what people were worshipping or please corrupt. Is the church losing its soul? Chaucer gave these whisper a stage. So we can conclude that a poet's quiet protest. The poet was protesting against the Roman Catholic Church. So was Chaucer secretly criticizing the English Church? Yes, but so secretly he exposed greed, hypocrisy, spirituals, decay, not with sermons or protest, but with stories. So he is telling us through story that there was corruption, there was greed, there was decay of the church. So these all things he is telling through stories. So Chaucer wasn't just telling tales, he was doing what? He was dismantling a system, one laugh at a time, but was also thinking about this. Action to call. Which of Chaucer's tale do you think is most daring? So you might think that is the wife of Bath tale. So do you think that satire is still a safe way to speak truth today? Of course. It's a question from you. You can also comment, but we can say it's a safe way to criticize today's institutions, and we can see through social media. So drop your thoughts in the comment And if this lecture video gave you a new lens on the medieval literatures, so hit like, subscribes, and ring the bell icons. So because sometime the biggest revolutions are hidden in the oldest books. Thanks for watching. Please do provide your valuable comment about today's lecture. We will continue. We will talk more about Chaucer, Canterbury Tales. In the next lecture, we will make comparison between today social media and how Chaucer, Canterbury Tales were acting like that.